the NBA All-Star game, I guess. So they tell us our initial concentration, right? Our initial concentration is 0.04 for nitrogen dioxide. Initial concentration here, 0 and 0. At the start of the reaction, right, we have 0 product. And then we're to set this up in terms of X, right? We can look at the coefficient and say, okay, this is going to be minus 2X because that's reacting. The concentrations are always going down. And Jillian, yes, unless they tell you there's a concentration of the product at the start of the reaction, we're always going to assume it's 0. So our products are increasing. That'll be 2X and X. And I wrote X twice. It just needs to be a plus X. It still doesn't look like a plus. There we go. All right, now we can find our equilibrium concentrations for all of those because they tell us that the nitrogen monoxide is 1.25. So we know 2X equals 1.25. Divide both sides by 2, X equals 0.625. So that must be my concentration of oxygen at equilibrium. And then to plug it in up here, right, minus 1.25. So 4 is my initial. I use 1.25, right? My equilibrium concentration of the nitrogen dioxide is going to be 4. It's going to be 2.75. Now I have equilibrium concentrations of all 3 of those. I can plug those into my equilibrium expression, right? The concentration of nitrogen monoxide squared times the concentration of oxygen all over the concentration of nitrogen dioxide squared, so 2.75. Right, multiply those 2 together, I get Kc equals 0.97656 over 7.5625. I get an equilibrium constant that's equal to about 0.129 for this reaction. All right, so we set it up in terms of X first, and then we used an equilibrium concentration. So I had to know initial concentration of reactant, and I had to know an equilibrium concentration of my product. Then I set it up in terms of X to basically find out, okay, 2X equals 1.25. From there, I can find X and then work backwards and find my equilibrium concentrations for everything. So I did this at the start of the problem set, and I kind of said, pretty much we did 2 of these in class, a bunch on the homework, a bunch in recitation. There's going to be a question like this on the exam as well. So something you should be prepared for. All right, any other questions on the practice exam? I think there was one question in the chat from homework, maybe. Whoever had that question can remind me and I can